And good morning, everybody. It is Wonderful Wednesday with Tina Owen. Now, Tina, I met you about 5 years ago. You were one of the first people I met when I came to America. I met networking, and I love what you do. And you are so passionate about it as well, because you help women, and it's not just women, you help people feel safe because of what you can help them with. So do you know what, Tina? Take it away. Tell us what you do. Tell us your story. Tell us what
Thank
you
you.
do.
Thank you, Claudia. I really appreciate this opportunity. I am Tina Owen. I am a personal safety specialist with Damsel in Defense. I educate and equip primarily women, but really anybody, to keep themselves safe in what is clearly an unpredictable world. I want people to feel confident and comfortable to go out and do what they want to do, wherever they want to do it, and do it safely.
Yeah.
So I speak to different groups. I speak to church groups, to women's groups, to networking groups, to realtor groups, all sorts of different groups. And I sell non-lethal personal protection products and teach people how to use them appropriately and effectively, like stun guns and pepper sprays and striking tools, Kubotans, all kinds of things.
Yeah, I've got some. I've got a taser and there's that other. Have you got some with you? Have you got
I do.
anything with you?
I do.
Yeah.
So the
I've got one of those.
This is the striking tool. That's how I carry my key fob. That's how, if I am going into a store and I don't really need to take my whole purse. I take my phone and I take this and I feel very comfortable. I also always take this when I am out walking, because I walk a lot around the lake or just, in my neighborhood. So I firmly believe that whenever I'm out, whenever you are out, that you should be equipped to protect yourself, because anything can happen to anyone at any time and any place.
Yeah, and you never know. So how would you use that? What would
So
you?
it's got finger grips.
Mhm.
So you just wrap your hand around it. You can use use it either end. You can hit somebody. That's all this is for. This is designed to be a striking tool to hit somebody if the need arises. So you can hit with that end, you can hit with that end, you can punch with it if need be. You can go up with it, go back, however you need to strike someone.
Yeah.
In self-defense, to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And I also believe that it's really important. So this obviously is an up close tool. So I think it's really important that you layer your protection. You need to have something for, this is a fantastic tool, but not for every scenario, not for every single situation. So, you want to have a stun gun, perhaps a stun device.
I've got one of those. Yeah, from you.
Exactly. So this is our little ringer stun device that without the pin in it, it is just a strong LED flashlight. And then when I introduce the pin, that serves as a key, if you will. It just goes into the hole in the bottom, snaps in, and then now it is still a strong, strong LED flashlight, but it is also a stun device.
Yeah. And even the sound of that will make somebody probably back off.
That's exactly right. So I really believe that this is not just a close-up tool, because it is a stun gun and it requires touch to actually stun someone. But you're exactly right. And that's actually how I have used it personally, as a deterrent from a distance. That I was walking out of a building into a dark parking lot, and I looked over at my car and I saw some guy hanging around my car that I didn't recognize. And I thought, no, not today, not going to happen. And I fired this off in the air and his head spun around and he took off. So I don't know why he was there. I don't really need to.
No.
But the beautiful thing about our stun device is that if it were to be taken away from me right now, it is a stun device. If it were to be taken away from me, it is now completely deactivated because I have the pin. So it can never be used against me.
That's what I really liked. And I think we had that conversation when
we did. It's a huge safety feature. The problem with a lot of women, in particular are not comfortable carrying a firearm or a knife or some other form of self-defense. And the problem with those is that if somebody were to take that away from you, they have your weapon.
That's exactly what I think we had the conversation about. And that's why I don't like the thought of having a firearm or a gun, because I mean, a knife, because I know it would probably be taken from me, you know,
Sure.
and then
Sure.
used on me. But
And it can be used against you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The other thing, you know, pepper spray is a great tool. This is my purse. This is my own personal purse. That I have a pepper spray on a breakaway. If you're going to have a pepper spray, you need to have it on a breakaway keychain so it doesn't just fall to the bottom of your purse. So I can reach into my purse and have a pepper spray in my hand that fast.
Right.
So that it is in my hand. If any of these tools are not in your hand or within immediate reach, they're not going to do you any good.
Yeah. Yeah. And that will make so many women feel safe. And do you do this for teenagers? You know?
Absolutely. I do. I don't like to work really with young teenagers because they can't legally carry some of our products.
Okay.
Typically it's 16 and up.
Mm-hmm.
And I work a lot with college students,
Yes.
particularly freshman women going into college for the first time, because I think that they are so vulnerable and they really don't have any idea what they're getting themselves into. Nobody has told them about the red zone, which is very real. The red zone, just very briefly, is the time period between August and Thanksgiving that statistically has the highest incidence of sexual assault on a college campus, for a number of reasons. You know, that these girls, these girls have been let loose for the first time.
Okay.
They are potentially engaging in activities that they may not have engaged in before. You know, going to parties and drinking alcohol, maybe experimenting with other things. I don't know. But they typically think that because they're on a college campus, that they're in a safe environment. No, they're really not. It's a college campus is basically like a town. It's like any other town that things can happen. They think that everybody's on campus for the same reason that they are, you know, to go to school and to go to class and to get an education. And that's not necessarily true. It's just, I know also that kids in general will hear things from me that they won't hear from their parents.
Okay.
You know, even if their parents tell them, they're not going to hear it from their parents. But if I say it, then it maybe comes with a little authority or a little, I don't know, a different twist that they might listen to me. And that's my whole goal. It really is just to keep people safe.
Yeah.
You know, I want everybody to realize that your safety is really your own responsibility.
And actually, I love that because anytime if you think you're losing them, you just press your stun gun and they'll immediately come back to you.
It does. It is an attention getter.
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to coach to sports, and that, you know, the whistle. It's like,
sure.
You know,
what? Yeah.
It's like, so you got that. It's like, listen to me.
Exactly. But then at the same time, I walk a very fine line because the last thing I ever want to be is a fearmongerer. You know, I don't want to cause fear. I want to educate people about their own personal safety and the fact that they can protect themselves, you know, and really that you need to pay attention and you need to be able to protect yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're right. It's about that fine balance. Because there are some people that would hear it and then catastrophize it and then be afraid even to go to college now or because there's a lot of people.
Exactly. What I want to do is instill confidence.
Okay.
You know, I want people to feel more confident because they have tools to protect themselves.
Yeah. And I think the one of the things is for girls to stay in groups.
Absolutely. Oh, and for college girls, yeah, there's a lot of education for them, that
Boys,
you always have to immediately when you get on campus, make friends. That's the first thing that you need to do is make friends and, assess who is trustworthy and who maybe not so much.
yeah,
And who are you going to stick with and who's going to stick with you? And if you're going to go to a party, you're going to tell your parents that you're not going. And of course you are. You're going to go to frat parties, and that I get it. That's fine. But make a pact with your friends that you're all going to go together and you're all going to come home together.
yeah,
That you'll have each other's back. That's what it's all about, really, is watching out for one another. Really, the biggest thing that I teach people is situational awareness. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. Anytime you walk into a situation, and this isn't just college students, this is everybody everywhere.
yeah.
Wherever you go, look around, see what's going on, see who else is there, see if everything looks as it should, as you would expect it to. Is there anything that's making the hair on the back of your neck stand up?
Yes, and it's interesting. I mean, because we were at an event and you chose your seat wisely. You did not want your back to the door. You wanted to be able to see.
Exactly.
Your,
I always do. I always want
Yeah.
to see who's coming in and what's going on.
Yeah, he's military, so it's like I know that it's like so this it's like no, I know where he wants to sit or where he wants to sleep. It's like
exactly.
Protect.
Yeah, that's what my son is the same way, that he was a ranger in the Army. And when we all go out together, it's kind of like who's going to sit where, but I'll defer to him and let him have the seat that I ordinarily would have taken, because I trust him to protect me and have my back.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So yeah, I agree. And I think I think that's important when girls and boys go out, actually, is to have a designated driver, but also and the responsible one for the group.
Absolutely.
And for the safety of the girls and the boys, so that somebody can actually always give a proper recount, because it's not just girls that get into trouble, it's the boys. And there can
You're absolutely right.
I've heard many stories that have unfortunately been spread by girls because of one reason or another, and it's the boys' lives that can get into a mess as well, and it's like, the
other thing is always watch your drink. Don't have that's what we have, a new product actually that is a drink cover.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, we do. We have a drink cover that has a little hole in it for a straw, but it comes in a little compact, like a makeup compact.
Okay.
So, but don't ever leave your drink unattended. Even if you have to go to the restroom or something, if you have to leave your drink unattended, when you come back, get a new one, get a fresh drink, always.
Right.
Always. And that's the same for guys. That guys can have their drinks spiked as well, or roofied.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a serious problem.
Yeah, it's
it's also, safety is not just our personal safety. I mean, driving. When you're driving, we have a lot of products for cars. We have
the torch.
Exactly. We have that a flashlight that is a multi-purpose flashlight that is also an alarm. It's also a seatbelt cutter. It's also a glass breaker.
A glass breaker. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we have a roadside emergency kit that has, heavy duty jumper cables and a headlamp in it, and it has an emergency light. It has all kinds of different things that you really need to be prepared, and you need to be proactive about your own safety, so that you have these things with you and available should you need them.
Yeah, and actually they make really good gifts, caring gifts for so say if you're a company and it's like, and you have all female workers or it doesn't matter about again all female or male, whatever, but workers, and you want them to feel safe in their vehicles or wherever.
Absolutely.
it's a great company gift.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more that personal safety really affects everybody. I mean, everybody is affected by something somewhere and needs to pay attention to what's going on around them.
Yeah.
You know,
So
that anything can happen to anybody anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah. I've got, as you say, I've got a stun gun in my office just in case, because you just never know. I mean, my husband's usually at home, and it's quite interesting because I was doing a Gestalt thing with somebody once, and I was getting them to shout and be angry. So it's like we were at a chair and we were doing this, and I could hear my husband coming downstairs because he thought the person was shouting.
Something was, well, good. I'm glad he was paying attention. And
then he realized he heard me going, yes, good. That's it, get it. And he was like, oh, it's her doing a funny thing. So it was okay. But, it's good. I have my very own Rottweiler.
Well, that's true. Well, the thing is that I hear that a lot. I do a lot of vendor events, and one of the most common things that I hear is, oh, I don't need any of your tools. I don't need that. I've got him, and I'm okay. Or I have a dog. I have a big dog, and unfortunately, if somebody is really determined to get to you, they're going to take him out first, or the big dog.
You're right. They will.
That's going to be their first target, or I hear all the time, I live in a safe neighborhood. Great. That's fantastic. I'm happy for you. That makes you more of a target, and I hear a lot, I never go out at night, okay. I'm sorry to hear that, but
one time you do,
but the way it could happen. And statistically, more crime happens during daylight hours than at night. So, all of these excuses.
Yeah. No, really, I still have it in my office. I promise you, I do. I still have it in my, because he's not always at home.
Yeah.
You're right. Not always here.
That's right. And it's not, and unfortunately, it's going, things like parking lots. You need to be ultra careful in a parking lot. That is the number one most dangerous place for a woman to be alone. And if you have kids, it's even multiplied. You are, by definition, you're distracted.
And vulnerable, very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your hands are already taken up. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And your mind is, focused on your kids, not on who's coming up behind you. Other little things, simple things like when you are walking, if you're going to go out and take advantage of the beautiful trails and greenways that we have here, and you want to listen to a music or to a podcast or anything, don't ever have two earbuds in. You always have to have one ear free so that you can hear what or who is coming up behind you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And for traffic anyway, it's dangerous not to.
It is.
To have, both ears in. I mean, you're losing one of your senses when you think about it.
That's exactly right.
So
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And there are certain dangers for different groups of people. Like I do a lot with realtors. I speak to realtors a lot. And there are things that are peculiar to their, industry or how they have to do their business, like open houses.
Yeah.
How crazy would it be if I put an ad on Facebook saying, on Saturday, I'm going to be at 123 Main Street from 3 to 5. The door's unlocked. Come see me. I'll probably be alone and I'll have snacks.
Yeah. Drinks and snacks. Just for you.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you know what?
But that's what they have to do in order to do their business and sell homes.
Yeah.
So there are certain things that different groups have to think about that others don't.
Yeah. And I love that you were there so that people, can have you in their back pocket. So anybody who's watching this, Tina Owen, stylingsafety.com, you can get all of her products on there. They're all on your website, aren't they?
They are. And my phone number is on there. If you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to text me. I prefer text over email.
Okay.
Text me or call me. If I don't recognize the number, I'm not going to answer, but leave me a message and I absolutely will call you back if you have any questions.
Brilliant. So thank you. Thank you so much for being on here and educating us about this.
My pleasure.
Yeah, because it is important, you know,
It
people need
is.
to know this to keep ourselves safe. So everybody, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. And so it's goodbye from me, Claudia Rickard.
And goodbye from me, Tina Owen.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.